Looking to hire a boat? I can take you to any port on the coast.
What do you think you're doing? Mercy! Hey!
I can take you to any port on the coast.
Talk to Gaiman if you want a horse, or Katla if you're looking for work. I can't help you. I take care of the horses, and the goats, and the chickens, and the garden. I hate it. Everyone feels sorry for me, so they don't treat me too bad, but... Both my parents were in the Legion. There was an ambush. Keller said she'd feed me if I could make myself useful. I take care of the animals, run errands, that kind of thing. I guess it could be worse, but I'm sick of sleeping outside with the horses. I want a real home, real parents, not this. Really? Do you have a place I could live? Oh well. Thanks anyway, I guess.
Can I help you? My husband handles the indoor work just as well. He'd only hurt himself out here.
I trust you're not planning any trouble. What can I do for you, friend? I was a much younger man when I married Katla. Now I can hardly keep up with her.
It's hard work keeping Solitude fed, but I wouldn't trust any other family to do it.
You need to leave now. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave now. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. You need to leave. My brothers would have been appalled to see a man outdone by his wife, but not me. Without Katla, this farm would fall apart. You need to leave. Need something?
If you've come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Rickard. If not, just keep your nose clean while you're here, or you'll end up like Rodvir.
They can't hurt Uncle Rogvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions.
Svar, you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother comes.
Lock the
You
city gate.
betrayed us!
You should tell her that
Get
her uncle
on
is
with
scum
it!
betrayed his High King. Best she know now, Advar.
All hard.
Rogvir, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torig. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude. He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric challenged Torig. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Boo! Very well, Rogvir. Bow your head.
On this day, I go to Sodom.
Sorry, I need to pay attention so I can remember this.
Some gate guard you were!
Huh? That's definitely going in my part of the Edda.
Oh, I guess it's all over. I expected...
There's nothing like a good song to lift the spirit in troubled times. That's definitely going in my part of the Edda.
I'm still here. Lead on, then.
It's too bad the burning of King Olaf was called off this year. I think some of the younger bards would have really gotten a kick out of it.
I still can... Well, you can understand Elisif not wanting it. It is a shame, though.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
I once captained a ship called the Argent Raptor. She struck an iceberg and went down just north of Windhelm. I have no business with you. Leave me. My shipmates scoff at my love of finery, but I know envy when I hear it.
Welcome to the Winking Skeever, friend. Here, take a look at this. Some of the Jarl's men came by and left this bounty letter. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. Take a look. Well, as it turns out, I had a pet skeever when I was a boy, and he used to wink. They were smaller back then. I'll show you to your room. Right this way.
Spare some gold for a veteran? Can you spare a septum? Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart.
My father was
I'm
all the
Gisli.
family I ever had.
You can just call me
I felt
Eric's
so lost
sister.
when he died.
Everyone does.
But the crew of the Red Wave's my family now.
Feel free. Have a drink. Rest your feet and stay a little while. Only in that I'm a graduate. I work here at the Winking Skeever. I would highly recommend it, though. Talk to Viarmo if you're interested. Oh, no. But being surrounded by good music, good drink, and good friends is all I've ever asked for. Generally, if you want rumors, you should talk to Corpulus. That said, I did see a visitor pass through on his way to the Blue Palace. Sure. What can I do for you? You should think about staying the night. Corpulus keeps a clean inn. Get away from me.
By blade or by spell. If you want it dead, I'll make it dead. All you need to do is pay my fee. I fight.
The Divines saved me from the streets, and they can save you from your trials as well. May the Divines guide and keep you.
I'm not interested, Jari. It doesn't matter how many times you ask.
You might want to rethink that. You're missing out on some wonderful opportunities working in that bar. You're passing through Solitude? Maybe you're looking to make some easy gold, yes? It's easy to find things to sell. Things nobody will miss. Things from underground, or just left lying around in someone's house. I bet the two of us, we're very alike. So why not take the next... Just remember, I'm here if you rethink your decision. You're passing through Solitude? Maybe you're looking to make some easy gold, yes? As I said, it's easy to find things nobody will miss. With the war, many more ships come through these docks, loaded with weapons and pay, but few people, and they pass through dangerous waters. We have an interest in one of those boats, the Ice Runner. The Solitude Lighthouse will be guiding it in, but if its fire were to go out, the Ice Runner would run aground. What an interesting idea. I think... Yes, if someone were to put out the lighthouse fire and then meet me on the docks afterwards, I could certainly direct them to that loot. Don't worry about them. We'll make sure they wash up safe. Maybe they'll even pay us for their heroic rescue from their sad crash. It would be best if we spoke little until you've completed your task.
Biren said you got here just before the execution. Must have been a lovely first sight. Huh. You know, you've got a certain fire in your eyes. Just like my Biren. Please, feel free to look around. We've got a bit of everything. Baron's my husband. He works the forge up at Castle Dower. I barely see him nowadays, what with him filling orders for the army. No, that was an ugly affair. High King Torig's death has turned the whole town on its head. Between you and me, he wasn't even that good a king. All of those rambling speeches about the Empire this and the Empire that. Trinkets, odds and ends, that sort of thing. Come back to bits and pieces anytime.
We've stopped. What is it? Fine. What? What? Will do. That it?
I thought adventurers were supposed to look tough.
Don't do that.
Plenty of fresh fish for you.
Fruit are looking a little less ripe today.
Down at the docks. There are a few good spots if you can avoid the East Empire Company workers and those red wave thugs. These are troubled times.
And cabbages, fresh and ripe.
Fletching
You look
suits
like
me.
you could do
It's
with a ripe
difficult and
apple.
sometimes
Or a
tedious,
tomato.
but a well-made
Cabbage
arrow strikes
or leek.
forth like the fury
I have
of a
my
god.
ways, but it's not easy these days.
The finest fish here.
Black blood marauders have been plundering ships off the coast. A lot of people been hurt by their foolishness.
Keep the cold at bay with our spiced wine.
That I do. I had a messenger from Dragon Bridge stop here on his way to the Blue Palace not too long ago. He was very nervous. Mentioned something about needing help. Take a look.
Spiced wine.
Come back when you figure out how to spend money.
You wouldn't have a few minutes to run down to the docks, would you?
The finest fish here.
Well, I've got a shipment of spices the East Empire Company is holding up. I need someone to convince them to release it. Great. Get back to me when you're done and I'll give you something for your time. They're adequate. Honestly, I rely on the business brought in by the burning of King Olaf, and that's not likely to happen this year. Well, it's a great big festival put on by the bards every year. They burn an effigy of old King Olaf. It's quite a bit of fun. The bards give out spiced wine during the festival, so they put it in a big order. And then, for weeks after, demand is so high, I can barely keep up. But with the death of High King Torig, the festival has been declared in poor taste. So it looks like it won't happen this year. Everything I got on display, really.
Caught daily.
Good luck out there. Seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim. Spiced wine for you? It's a family recipe.
I've got some salmon to sell.
Get your fresh fruit and produce here.
Fresh fish, straight from the shore.
If you ever want to replace those old rags, stop by Radiant Raiment. It's not an insult, just an observation. If I were walking around with a wound, I would want you to tell me to see a doctor. Your outfit is something of an open wound, where attire is concerned. Nothing at all. It's very nice. If you want something with a little more style, however, you should come by our shop, Radiant Raiment. We could fix you right up. You're really going to the Blue Palace? That presents an opportunity. If you are willing to wear one of Radiant Raimint's outfits and speak to the Jarl, I would not only pay you, but let you keep the outfit. Good. Here's the outfit. Try to get Elisif's opinion on it, and if she likes it, mention it's from Radiant Raiment. Remember Radiant Raiment when you need a change of attire.
Hello, yes. I'm the Dean of History, and scribe work when I can find some quiet time. My position, Dean of History, actually covers a wide range of subjects. I teach poetry, writing, history, and the finer points of court life. I suppose I should return to my papers.
Need something? Are you here to talk about my brother? Do you think his execution was justified? And like Rogvir, you're a Nord at heart. It's hard for many of the people here to understand. I think Aldous understands. I don't think I could have stayed here if anyone else had... I think I need to stop talking now.
Watch it! You help me. You help people, right? That's what you do. My master has abandoned me. Abandoned his people. And nothing I say can change his mind. Now he refuses to even see me. He says I interrupt his vacation. It's been so many years. Won't you please help? Last I saw him, he was visiting a friend in the Blue Palace. But no one as mundane as the Jarl. No. Such people are below him. No, he went into the forbidden wing of the palace to speak with an old friend. Said it had been ages since they had last had tea. Oh, and you'll need the hip bone. It's very important. No entering Pelagius's wing without that. Without his guidance, our homeland is falling apart. North wages war against South. The holy flame flickers and dies. We need his return. Oh, but I'm sure he'll repay you when he comes to his senses. His favor is a powerful, powerful thing, and so very worth any inconveniences. He is a great man, but one rarely praised. He rules twin empires that span the length and breadth of our minds. All know him, but few can name him. But he has forbidden me from saying his name. He says it distracts him, and woe to those who draw his ire. But you will know him when you see him. He's the one who made me like this. He stays in the Pelagius wing of the Blue Palace. The doors are locked, and only Falk Firebeard can grant entry. But I hear the maids, Una and Erdi, know how to enter it for cleaning. Surely they can help for such an important matter. Oh, thank you. Divines bless your kind heart. All right, then.
Hello and welcome, my friend. How may I help you on this fine day? Why, of course. And will you also be needing the bow that shoots rainbows? Or perhaps a quiver that dispenses beer? Look, if you want arrows, we have them. But don't insult my intelligence. An archer, eh? I've got just what you need. Perhaps I'll be seeing more of you.
Just arrive in the city? Is it true what they say, then? There are dragons about. I like you. No man is a match for a dragon. Buying one of our blades wouldn't hurt your chances, though. Food, experience, and a roof over my head in the finest city in Skyrim. If money's all you hold dear, then you end up like Jari Ra, plague on the city. Captain Aldous can't prove it, but that Argonian is up to no good. May your sword feast on Stormcloak flesh.
Seems there's no end to the needs of the Imperials. But what can I help you with? I think I would, if it weren't for my son and my wife. Oh, Seema would have my hide if I even suggested I might step foot on a battlefield. You think Stormcloaks and Legionnaires are dangerous? Ha! It's almost all I have time for these days. The men training here in Solitude, and the troops out in the field. They all need weapons and armor. You should look into joining. They could use every hand they can get. To be honest, no. But High King Torrig supported them. And now, her Lady Elisif has thrown in with them. You could say I'm a king's man at heart. I guess that's Jarl's man now. My loyalty lies with Solitude. So, where Jarl Elisif leads, I follow. The finest weapons and armor. Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests.
Finest fish here. Caught daily.
Not bad. Reminds me when I first started smithing. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Return anytime you need arms or armor. My forge never rests. Wanderer like you must have plenty of tales to tell. But I'm afraid I'm too busy to hear them. I got some. Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage? Keep safe and always wear your armor.
Blessings of the Eight Divines upon you. How may I help? You look troubled. Have you come seeking guidance? Ah, yes. That once held the shrine to Talos. But the worship of Talos was banned by the White Gold Concordat some time ago. It's the peace treaty that ended the war with the elves of the Aldmeri Dominion. The Dominion recognized the heresy of proclaiming Talos a god. Talos was a great man and a great emperor, but that does not make him a god. No matter how much the Stormcloaks may wish it were so. Those who worship at the shrines will sometimes receive boons from the gods themselves. The nature of the favors varies per deity. Please, feel free to worship at any or all of the shrines. The strong and honorable always carry the blessing of the Eight.
Remind us of our place when we forget.
Feel free to take a seat.
Yes?
Hold on now. I want those arrows dead center. The lives of your fellow soldiers counted.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion. Are my men now giving free rein to anyone who wanders into the castle? Do you have some reason to be here, citizen? Right, Helgen. One of the prisoners, if I recall correctly. Hadvar's alive. I hope that's true. He's a damn good soldier. But he hasn't reported in yet, so he can't exactly confirm your story. In the meantime, why don't you have a chat with Legate Ricka? I suspect we might have use for someone resourceful like you. Not many survived Helgen. Besides, I'm sure your being imprisoned was all a terrible misunderstanding.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruf.
Balgruf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't.
Can't wait to gut one of those rebels. Not my finest hour. Rogvir was a fine and honorable man. Sometimes you just do what needs to be done. You don't have to hate a man to kill him. Though, admittedly, it helps. Keep my men in your prayers. They'll need them if they don't show up. It's nearly time to collect taxes on your properties here in the city, Riley.
Oh, are you my gallant hero? Have you come to whisk me away to a life of adventure and romance?
Very well.
Oh, I'd get in trouble for that. It's not allowed. Besides, it's scary in there. Well, I suppose in that case it's okay to let you in. But only briefly. Be careful and come right back. Don't mess anything up while you're here. Troops from the Blue Palace to Castle Dower. I made a wish in the town well that a golden knight came to take me to his castle. Oh, does it spoil the wish if I tell? Steward, when is my appointment to meet with General Tullius? Someday a gallant hero will ride up and take me away. Someday.
By all accounts, waging war takes his every moment.
I swear to you, unnatural magics are coming from that cave. There are strange noises and lights. We need someone to investigate.
Then we will immediately send out a legion to scour the cave and secure the town. Hafengar's people will always be safe under my rule.
Your Eminence, my scrying has suggested nothing in the area. Dragonbridge is under Imperial control. This is likely superstitious nonsense.
Perhaps a more tempered reaction might be called for?
Oh, yes, of course, you were right. Falk, tell Captain Aldous I said to assign a few extra soldiers to Dragonbridge.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. But about the cave?
I will have someone take care of the cave as well, Varnius. You can rest easy. You're dismissed. Please address all questions to the steward, Falk Fireby.
The Imperials are good for business, and business is good for Skyrim. Bryling's obsession with honor and tradition is quaint, but politically irrelevant. I'm a Thane. In the future, you may want to gain that information before talking with someone. Risk of looking like an idiot and all that. Oh, most certainly. At least when Elisif herself asks. If you're inquiring whether we have concerns about her age and inexperience, let me put it this way. The Thanes have every confidence in General Tullius's leadership. I must return to the court. They simply can't make do without me.
If you have business, please see Falk Firebeard, my steward.
The news is the same as it's
Be
been for
well.
the rest of the war.
Pray
Your
for
Grace.
solitude
Our
and my
borders are
husband.
secure, but at the cost of the guards of our towns and roads.
I don't see any reason why we'd need them. As long as those dogs stay outside
Thane
of our borders,
Bryling,
we're
at your
fine.
service. The Stormcloaks are far from the only threat to the hold. The roads are beset by bandits and beasts, and now there's even talk of bloody dragons.
My dear Bryling, barring any fancy and folly, the good people of Haffinger are surely capable of dealing with the odd highwayman or stray dog.
Trouble on the roads and cities means less commerce. Less commerce means less money and more starving people. And that means more crime.
Huh. That's only a problem for people who can't afford to hire their own security.
That may well be our only answer. I will empower my steward to seek out capable individuals to secure Haffingar. Thank you, my Thanes.
I can always find time to share a word with a warrior. Many condemn the Stormcloaks, but I refuse. There is honor in fighting for what you believe.
With the passing of my dear husband, Torrig, the weighty position of Jarl has fallen to me. Please direct questions to my steward. Because that's what traitorous cowards do when they desire power. Ulfric coveted the High King's throne. He thought he deserved it more than Torrig. And so he came before my husband and he shouted, with that terrible voice, like something out of a legend, or a nightmare. When Ulfric unleashed such fury, my husband, he simply ceased to be. That is all I will say, for it grieves me to speak of it. Not yet, no. Although it is true my husband Torrig was the High King, and I am his widow. Now is not the time to lay claim to such a title. This land is riven by war, and her people suffer for it. The Stormcloaks are a blight on Skyrim, and like any blight, must be purged. Only then will I take my rightful place as High Queen. A question I am all too familiar with. One my very Thanes ask often. They worry that Tullius is so focused on the war that he risks forgetting what's best for our people. The real irony is that, while General Tullius is certainly no Nord, the people of Skyrim would be lost without him. Trust is always difficult, especially for my people. Yet we must trust in Tullius's leadership. For what other choice do we have? It's quite fetching, actually. The craftsmanship is excellent. Oh, really? Well, you can tell them that I will be putting in a request for a few dresses quite soon. Oh, I thought that matter was handled. I think Falk is taking care of that. Be well. Pray for solitude and my husband.
Thane Bryling, at your service.
Be quick. I have little patience for mundane concerns.
Steward, I have an idea that might help to bolster the morale of our
Keep your
people
hands
in
to
this
yourself.
difficult time.
I have so very many ways to
I
deal
think
with
we should have
people.
a grand
Very
parade,
few of them
and let General
pleasant.
Tullius march his troops from the Blue Palace to Castle Dower in
I was a
open
member of the
honor.
court during the reign of Torig's father. It was Torig who
Fine
appointed me to the
idea,
position.
my Jarl. However, I would suggest we wait until war
Very.
has ended.
I helped raise him.
After all,
Oh, I could not
the
have been more
general
proud
needs
to
his
see
soldiers
Torig on
out
the
in
throne.
field,
He made a
fighting
fine
battles
king.
against the
A
Stormcloaks.
fine king.
I must protest, my Jarl. A parade would make you an easy target for a Stormcloak assassin.
Not really.
Your safe
Varnius
appearance-
Junius is a fool. I'm sure
Oh, very
nothing
well.
will come of it.
I can
I
see
suppose
there's
if you're
no
truly
change in
interested, you could
stubborn
talk to
Nord
Falk.
minds.
He's the better
When
safe
this
than
war is
sorry
won,
type.
I will have my parade.
Yes, my Jarl.
I was, to my shame. The whole court was in attendance. I've seen much in my
Riley,
time,
what do you
but
have
that
to
was a
report about the
gruesome
state of
day.
Haffingar's defenses?
Because
The news
Ulfric
is
needed
the
a
same as
symbol.
it's been for the rest of the
Someone
war,
he could
Your
defeat
Grace.
that represented
Our
the
borders are
Empire.
secure,
The
but
white gold
at the cost of
concordat,
the guards
the
of our
banning of
towns and
Talos
roads.
worship. Torig's father Islot had held Skyrim together for nearly 25 years. When he died, Torig became that
The
symbol.
Stormcloaks are far from the only threat to the
No,
hold.
even after
The roads
Islot
are
died,
beset
the
by
moot voted
bandits
to make
and
Torig
beasts,
High
and
King of
now there's even
Skyrim.
talk of
But
bloody
Ulfric was at that
dragons.
moot, continually talking about
Trouble on the
Skyrim's
road to
independence in
cities means
terms
less
just shy of
Less
treason.
commerce means
I
less
don't think
money
Ulfric
and more
knew how much
starving.
Torg respected
And
him for that.
means more crime.
If Ulfric had asked Torg directly to stand up, to declare independence, Torg might have done it. Because the Dominion is a sleeping beast that Skyrim cannot slay alone. Because many Nords are part of the Imperial Army even now. Because the food and resources we get from the Empire are important to our people. Because even if we can't openly worship him, Talos the god was once Tiber Septim the man, and this is his empire. And Torg wasn't ready to let it fall apart. I can teach you, but I won't be held responsible for what you do with the knowledge. I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate this. Take care of yourself, and always remember, the world is ripe with people looking to spill your blood.
Do you have business with the court? I am the Jarl's steward. If you have court business to tend to, you talk to me. Of course he does. What sort of a question is that? Maybe you've been listening to Erikr. There's been loose talk among some of the Thanes, and I suspect he's the cause of it. You'll pay those rumors no heed if you wish to retain your welcome in this city. She may be young, but Elisif is the Jarl by right. And here in Skyrim, if nothing else, we respect the traditions of our fathers' fathers. You do well to remember that. That remains to be seen. By rights, she has a legitimate claim as High Queen of Skyrim. But we must have the support of the other Jarls for that claim to have any meaning. Should they accept her rule, we will have peace. You mean the Dragon Bridge issue? I'll be honest with you, I was planning to let that go. Varnius is a bit jumpy at the best of times. There have been reports of weird happenings near Wolfskull Cave. Travelers disappearing, odd lights. I suspect wild animals, or perhaps bandits. I don't think it's worth our time with the war going on. But if you want to clear out the cave, I'll make sure you're repaid for your work. The cave has a bad history. Long ago, Potema the Wolf Queen used it for necromantic rituals. That's where it got the name. That was over 500 years ago. Nothing much down there now, but everyone's always convinced the cave is haunted. Feel free to return to me with questions. The Blue Palace is an open forum.
Whoa! What's the magic?
Don't do that.
Huh?
Need something?